We'll find out. Hey, caller from the 505 area code, you've called in with my fake name, so I don't believe you're for real.
Yeah, of course not. But I love the idea that you guys are so racist and hateful towards white people. You portray us as redneck hillbillies, chicken fucker types.
The person Jimmy was portraying was a black man, so I don't know what you're talking about. He was particularly portraying a black man.
What made you think that was a white guy?
All the black Republicans, right? Yeah, nice.
There are tons of them.
Are you saying there aren't black Republicans?
What's the percentage of black Republicans compared to fucking black Democrats? Give me that.
You tell us. You called in with the point. You tell us.
A lot more men who are black support Democrats. All right.
So what should we really call you, Cletus?
No, I love being the stereotype that you put on white people who support Trump.
I never said that.
Why are you racist? Is my question. What if I did the same thing to you guys? What would you accuse me of? What if I said,
being dumb?
My name's Tyrone, dog. I'm Tyrone, and I like chicken and water. Like, how would you feel about that?
I would say that that's racist because you're claiming that Tyrone is black. We never claimed Cletus was white or black. All we said was Cletus. All I said specifically was,
no one's buying that. No one's buying that.
All I said was Cletus fucked his cousin, and you instantly went. He's talking about a white dude.
A single black Cletus? How many of them do you know personally? Not in the crazy, some stupid cartoon.
Cletus is a black name as well.
Hey, Cletus, let me ask you a question. Did I do a white or black voice, or did I do a Southern accent?
You know, you can play and dance around this. Like,
answer my question, Cletus. Cletus, why are you afraid to answer the question? Are you afraid?
And you're trying to back out of it because you know you're racist.
Oh my God, what a scaredy
First of all, Cletus,
Jesus Christ,
Cletus, I don't care at all about the accusation that
right. Sure, dude.
Cletus, I'm literally a white man. Look at me. You're saying I'm racist against white people is hilarious. Now, Cletus,
you're portraying white people with bigotry. Yes,
Cletus.
I'm listening.
Why are you afraid to answer the question? Is it because it'll undermine your point? Did I do a Southern accent or a white accent?
You're dancing around it. I'm not. I can portray Lamar, the watermelon chicken eating guy, and be like, Lamar's white, and pretend like I'm not being racist.
No, Cletus, let's not talk about Cletus. Stop talking about what you went to. Stop talking about what you went for Halloween this year. Now, Cletus,
you're dancing
the
around.
Question is,
you're trying to
Cletus.
That's what it is.
Would you say most people with a country accent?
You're full of hate.
Hey, Cletus.
What
Cletus,
chicken.
Cletus, I wouldn't care if you had perfect proof I was doing a white guy, because I wouldn't give a fuck. But Cletus, the what you're anchoring everything to is fallacious. What percentage would you say of the people with Southern country accents, especially the one that I just did, which would have been mostly like a Southeastern? Excuse me, Cletus. I'm basically asking you this question. Are the majority of people with Southern accents, such as I just used, more likely to vote for Trump or Harris in the last election?
Dude, all right.
So, Cletus, would you answer the question?
A redneck hillbilly is not going to be a black person, and you're trying to play it off like it's a black person.
Cletus, is the accent I just did, a person who genuinely holds it, more likely to belong to a, let's say, MAGA voter or a leftist?
Yeah, rednecks are probably going to support MAGA and Trump.
Great. So what you're saying, Cletus, is when I decided to do an impression, you have no idea whether I was thinking of a black guy or a white guy. But if what I in fact was thinking of was a MAGA guy, it would not have been an inaccurate accent to grab to represent a MAGA guy, because as you've acknowledged, that accent is most likely going to come out of the mouth of a person who is MAGA and not a leftist.
Now let me ask you now. Okay, sure, fine. Let's go with that.
In your mind, it was an apt impression.
Let's go with that.
Let's go. Thank you for conceding that you were wrong. Thank you for conceding. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Fine, it's accurate. Let's say it's the most accurate thing on the planet. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, you did just say that. Thank you for saying that and admitting you're wrong.
Fine, whatever, dude. Let me ask you a question. Out of the myriad of Trump MAGA support, I don't even know what you mean when you say MAGA. Obviously, that comes with some type of connotation. But let's just say Trump supporter. Out of the myriad of Trump supporters.
Yeah,
That's
very
R.
much. They know
Is
who
the
they are.
redneck
When I
hillbilly.
call them MAGA,
Can I
they know
ask
who
the
they
question?
are. Oh, I'm sure you can, but
I
you're
did
so
ask if I could
far.
ask
You're
the
so
question.
far. You're so far. Like 16 sentences into preamble.
I can't. So I can't.
Can you ask? Can you, Cletus? You tell me.
I'm trying.
Go for it.
All right, great. So out of all the people who support Trump, is the redneck chicken fucker the on the better side of representing people or on the worst side of representing people?
I think on the side of the kind of people who will use the defense that I was doing the impression of, it is not unlikely that they will represent a significant portion. And not only that, but the easiestly significant portion that will have a representable accent.
It was a simple question, man. Obviously, what you're doing is you're portraying
I
Trump
gave you a
supporters
direct
as
answer.
idiots and redneck hillbillies.
Oh,
You're portraying them as redneck hillbillies, dude, and that's a bigot. You're being a bigot.
Let me be clear. I don't think all idiots and bigots and chicken fuckers are Trump supporters.
I didn't say you did. I just said you're being a bigot.
Or rather, I don't think all Trump supporters are those things. I do think idiots, chicken fuckers, bigots tend to be Trump supporters. However, you guys have lost a bunch of them. Like you had the Groypers until recently, and then the Nazis were like, sorry guys, you guys were great for us for a while, but now we got to go off and do our own thing.
Yeah,
did you cry this hard when real quick, Cletus, did you cry this hard when the Wayans brothers released White Chicks? Did you call them and be like, you're portraying white women in such a how dare you? Like, was that like, who cares, dude? Holy shit. It's the internet. God damn. So what? We made fun of a Southern accent. Holy shit.
Let me tell you how
the world's going to stop.
All right, Cletus, you tell us how you're going to do it.
Yeah, well, first of all, I never saw the movie because it looked like it was crap. But the idea that they're white-facing people,
would be right.
Who gets upset?
Oh my God, did they do whiteface?
If I
did they follow the
terrible
terrible tradition of whiteface? It's very offensive, whiteface.
You guys are
because
hypocrites.
of that tradition.
That's the only reason this matters.
Hey, Cletus,
I could care less. I could care. All right, there's two of you, and you're ganging up. Can we like just like have one-on-one for a second instead of this like dog pile?
You called into a show with two hosts. You can't complain that the two hosts are talking. What the fuck kind of stupid shit is that?
Well, let's just try to keep it fucking one-on-one for just like a minute.
Can you name three movies that aren't white chicks? Hey, Cletus,
who loses their shit when you do blackface? It's the left or the right? Republicans, Democrats, liberals, or fucking righties?
Cletus, when I see you do blackface at Halloween, like I know you've done, I go, wow, that person looks ridiculous.
Oh, please.
Now, Cletus, hey, Cletus, can you name three other? Can you name three other? Cletus, can you name three other movies with whiteface in them? Quickly, you don't get a Google.
I can't name. You know, I could only thinking of the opposite. The Tropic Thunder is the only blackface movie I know of.
So it's hypocritical because blackface has been done traditionally throughout culture to make fun of black people.
Name movies with blackface. The only recent movie I can even think of would be Tropic Thunder.
I can do it easy because you guys have kept track of it for us. The Sarah Silverman program, Jimmy Kimmel Live has done it, as you just mentioned, Tropic Thunder.
Scrubs,
I can even go back to old movies, how long it's been going on. How about Laurence Olivier?
So how about
Cletus?
My point is you guys are hypocrites.
Oh, Cletus, you don't get a whine when I can do the challenge. You were like, oh, you're asking me that. You do it. Laurence Olivier in Othello. Boom. Literally for no reason. For no reason, a guy they painted him up because they didn't want to be black.
I'm talking about you being a bigot, portraying white people as redneck hillbillies.
Cletus,
oh my God! I think
Cletus,
Jimmy, hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. I think white people will be okay. That's what I'm going to say. I think that white people have not suffered at the hands of whiteface or white voice so much.
They'll be okay.
I think that white people will be fine. I think.
Why don't we think of
the white people? Oh my God, we don't put enough effort into thinking of how the whites will feel.
Black or white people?
Holy shit!
You!
Look at your victim mentality right here. You chuckle fuck. Like, what are you talking about? God damn.
No,
oh my
I'm
God.
calling out you being a hypocrite.
Oh man.
Cletus,
I'm not a victim.
The white people are suffering so
you
hard.
guys live and die by the victimhood mentality. Your whole
those poor white people
is victimhood mentality. I'm not a victim. You can call me whatever you want. You're damn right I'll be all right.
Cletus, you're literally whining as a victim.
Cletus, that matter. Cletus, you can portray.
All right, you have to be muted because you have to be controlled. Now you'll call this white oppression because you guys do absolutely cry about everything. Cletus, I'm a white man. I grew up conservative and Christian. I'm telling you factually, as somebody who has seen both sides, white people portray victimhood way, way more. In fact, it is, their thing is, the even threat of equality would mean I'm no longer on an elevated status. Therefore, that loss of extra privilege, that's oppression. We are the truly oppressed ones. And Cletus, you are the example of it. You're going, when's the last time? Can anybody go find a clip of Jovan and I, apropos of nothing, complaining about literally blackface? I've made fun of Justin Trudeau doing blackface on the channel. Can't think of a time I made it a part of my identity. Cletus, you called in. This is your thing. This is the thing you're whining about. You're the one who is, oh, whiteface is wrong if blackface is wrong, even though they come from completely different categories. And then you ask a question. I ask if you can name other ones. You can't. You think you're going to make a point that I can't do the same thing in reverse. I immediately do it in reverse. And by the way, I know those examples because of your guys' whining. You guys cry about, oh, well, if it's wrong when they did it, how come it's not wrong when Jimmy Kimmel did it? How come it's not wrong when Sarah Silverman did it? Literally, it is the list you guys have kept as you are always whining that I was able to keep track of. So Cletus, I'm going to unmute you. We're going to see if you can actually engage here. And I'm curious if you can answer directly. Who is oppressed more in American society, white people or black people?
Am I on?
Go ahead, Cletus. Yes.
White people,
Cletus.
general Republicans, name whatever you want, call it whatever you want, but they're going to believe in equality, whereas you believe in reparations and affirmative action.
Cletus, what question did I ask?
Holy shit.
Don't let him take it yet. Don't let him take it yet. Cletus, what question did I ask you?
Who's the more entitled, or who's the more victim?
I asked specifically, and maybe start listening and we can have an actual interaction. I asked you, who is oppressed more, in your opinion, in America? White people or black people?
Define oppression.
There's no way.
It's very funny because it's like, this is what you resort to as though you don't know. Who systematically,
oppression
from equality of race is like extended more privileges? Which group is extended more privileges merely for the color of their skin in America? Black people or white people?
Affirmative action would be my example for saying that white people or
affirmative action primarily helped black women, white women. White women were the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action. So, wow, that would be a stupid thing for you to say.
Are you going by
you can say it.
Or are you going by
I'm going by rate, big boy. I'm going by rate, big boy, per capita, bud. Keep up.
So, Cletus, are you going to finally answer either the question, who is oppressed more, white people or black people?
You have to dig into that, because when
no, you don't.
You know, the African American community is 13% of the population. Of course, these programs are going
to
look
at
random white person.
You take a random white person and a random black person. They're both babies. You have no idea how they're going to be raised. You just know they're going to be put with a random family of their own race somewhere in America. Which one of them is more likely to experience oppression, the white baby or the black baby?
Again, I asked you to define oppression. Does that mean walking down an aisle?
And then once you define oppression, could you define the word what and is?
Like they get legal. You're saying who doesn't get legal benefits compared to another race?
Holy shit, you are okay. I'm gonna take over for a second because it is just driving me insane. I'm not even gonna ask you because asking clearly doesn't work. I'm just gonna tell you, when we look at systemic racism, when we look at the systemic oppression of a group of people for the financial, political, or social benefit of another group of people, do you know who doesn't fit
Use a
that
real world
label
example.
of
Stop
having
all right,
stuff
all
for
right,
that.
stop
I'm
using
sorry.
these
I'm
stupid
sorry.
law
I'm sorry. I'm
dictionary.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen here, Mayo Monkey. I'm speaking now. Okay? Great. You're not speaking. I'm speaking. I hate to break that to you. So again, and I'm just going to break it down real quick. I hope you're listening. When it comes to the systemic oppression of a group of people, and that would be a group of people who are suffer at the hands of another race for the financial, economic, or social benefit of that group of that racial group, it's going to be black people every single time. Black people, we can look at literally any metric you want to look at. You want to go criminal justice system, black people get arrested far more. They have a pullover rate of 16 times their white counterpart, unless the sun is down. Then all of a sudden, those pullover rates turn fucking similar. Wonder why. Second, they have 14 times higher and harsher sentencing when it comes to the criminal justice system until we all of a sudden start accounting for poverty. And then, oh my God, look at that. When we look at first time offenses, when we look at socioeconomic factors, those numbers are still there. I wonder why. We could talk about maternal mortality rates, or the fact that black women are far more likely to have a higher rate of maternal mortality than their white counterparts in hospitals. And the fact that until 2016, it was in textbooks that black people don't experience pain the same way white people do. This was in medical textbooks until 2016. You want to keep going? We can talk about the white people receive the higher rates of scholarships, both need-based and financial, over their black counterparts. We can keep going. I can rattle these numbers off for fucking days, but I know, and I know when Jimmy brings you back, you will have listened to nothing I have just said. Or I can bring you back as well. It doesn't matter. You will have listened to nothing I just said. I'm guarantee it. So contend
I know what he'll focus on.
and tell
I'm gonna
me.
Write it down. I'm gonna write down what his point is going to be about real quick. Okay. Go ahead.
Now I want you to tell me how white people are more oppressed than their black counterparts. Respond to what I said, Cletus.
So what? What about your all of the examples you just gave? So what now reparations and we have to create all these racist governmental programs?
Motherfucker, Jimmy, Jimmy, have I ever said we should have reparations, Jimmy? Have I ever said that? Have you ever heard those words come out of my mouth?
Though. By the way, I believe in reparations, but
I've never said we need reparations to fix the issues. I've never said we needed affirmative action to fix the issues. However, affirmative action, again, primarily helped white women, not their black counterparts, not black men. White women received the bulk of help when it came to affirmative action. So I want you to say something in some sentence that has any semblance of an education. I would love to hear an educated thought.
You can say the affirmative action thing, and then you agree with me. Let's get rid of affirmative action.
There is no affirmative action currently. It's not on the books in any legal sense. There's no affirmative action policy pushed by the government. There's no affirmative. There's not. Find me. What's the policy? What's the affirmative action policy? Give it to me. Give it to me. Go ahead. Give me the affirmative action policy right now. Go ahead.
I mean, even though they might have done it at the federal and all that stuff level.
Give me the affirmative action policy, you fucking moron. Give the affirmative action policy. I don't want to hear this fucking two-stepping away. Harvard doesn't have it.
All the Ivy
Harvard
colleges.
is not there. Oh, holy shit. Who did the affirmative action help in Harvard cases? It wasn't black people, was it, stupid?
Then you agree with me.
Can you answer the fucking questions?
Cletus, actually, since you did this with oppression, Cletus, define affirmative action. What does affirmative action do?
It's just a forced distribution of acceptance.
No.
College acceptances.
Incorrect. Are you under the impression? Wait.
On a weighted score,
true or false?
They get higher weight.
Hang on. Cletus, true or false? Affirmative action requires quotas based on race, sex, gender, and orientation.
False. No, they're going to use some math, wishy-washy math to try to get around it. So what does
affirmative action actually do?
It would never be as direct to have a quota.
Excuse me, they were as direct to have a quota. The Supreme Court overturned it. So regardless of whether quotas are good or bad, because it kind of forces and keeps track and makes them work harder at it, they are illegal. So how is affirmative action actually performed?
So are you saying that jobs and colleges don't look at race as an acceptance variable?
Nope. They don't.
Explain to me now how the question you just gave is an answer to the question I just asked you. Why would you deserve an answer to your question if you will never answer mine?
You're already presupposing
Why
the
would
conclusion.
you deserve an answer to
know
my
the reality.
question? To your question,
stop living in government land, bro. Like, let's
stop
live in
living
reality.
in government
All right,
land.
I'm gonna
Hey,
go
what
on a
is
rant.
government?
Can I go on a rant?
Cletus, no, you can't. What is government?
Can I live in reality, or do I have to live in make-believe land like you like to do right now? In reality,
all right, I've muted you again since you went, can I go on a rant? You asked, I said no, and you decided you were going to do it anyway. So now, Cletus, you have said stop living in government land. So we're going to come back in and you're going to tell us, since we had to do it with your bullshit with oppression, what is government? Go on, Cletus, what's government?
So we have reality, where we have tons of diversity efforts that are doing forced distribution.
All right, so we muted you again since you don't know how to do this shit. By the way, people, is this the best you have? I know our wonderful screener is screening a couple of calls right now. We'll see what they have for us. But this is the best you have? Somebody who will not, like, MAGA straight up can't debate because they can't answer a question. Or then they try to answer your question with a question, and they try to act like there isn't concepts we all understand, like oppression and what a person means by who is oppressed more, because he knows that he wants to make the claim white people are oppressed more than black people. That's the claim he wants to make.
All I want to hear from him, and if he says Harvard again, I'm going to lose it. All I want to hear is one single industry that throughout all of their years of qualifications in whatever position and focused on race and hired this large, massive group of unqualified black people just to overlook all of these hyper-qualified white people. What's the industry? It doesn't exist. It's a fucking boogeyman. You're afraid of a goddamn boogeyman.
So, Cletus, I'll now let you choose between the questions. You can go with either one. You can either go with Jovan's question of name the industry where this happened, white people were hurt because there were all these overqualified white people that got replaced with underqualified black people. Or you can answer my question, which is simply, what is government? And we have unmuted you. Go.
I love it. I
don't think you do. I think you're actually pretty triggered. I think you're pretty triggered. Well, Cletus, the thing is you're not having a discourse.
One example of oppression.
Cletus,
I'll go with that one. One example.
You aren't having a discourse at all. You're trying to go on rants. You're ignoring the questions and shit. So the problem is if you were having a discourse, there would be no mute button.
Oh, right. You guys.
If you were answering honestly, there'd be zero muting.
Decorum.
So, excuse me, what?
I don't give a goddamn about decorum. I give a fuck about you answering the questions. Who gives a decorum? Answer the goddamn question, bro.
I'll go with the oppression.
Nobody asked. That's not a question.
Great.
That's not one of the two questions posed to you right now.
So what was the question that you are answering? Because you were given two questions to choose from now. We've moved on from a lot of stuff.
What is government?
Is that the question you're going to answer? What is government?
And the other guy's question of, give an example.
Give an example of what?
I'm asking. Give an example, because I said oppression, but you're saying that wasn't the question, so I'm asking.
Right.
Give an example of a single industry that lowered their standards so that they could mass hire a bunch of black people who are unqualified over hyper qualified white people. Give me the industry.
That one's a lot more relevant. I'll go with that one.
Okay, go for it.
The most recent one would be all of the immigrants getting the drivers, the truck licenses when they shouldn't. Those should be jobs that go to Americans.
Wow. So this isn't affirmative action at all, because none of that is a result of a policy to get truck driver's licenses.
Beat that one to death. We beat the affirmative action to death.
Excuse me. In what state do they limit the number of truck driver's licenses they give out?
Did I say they limit? I never said that.
Well, then how are they getting the driver's licenses that white people deserved?
I said those are jobs.
Jimmy,
now who's not listening?
I must be going crazy.
I said,
I must be going crazy, Jimmy.
Americans.
Jimmy, hold on. I must be going crazy because the question I asked, and I was looking around for the question that I asked. Maybe it
That's an
disappeared.
industry.
But the question I asked was what industry
I
lowered their standards.
Conversations
Listen
don't have to be
here,
black and white, man.
listen here, goddamn fuck.
Oh my God,
I'm so close.
He just said for not answering the question at all, that this means that conversations don't have to be black and white. If you ask me my favorite food, I can instead tell you what car I saw earlier today.
The question that was proposed to you was to name an industry that lowered their standards to the point where a massive amount of black people were being unskilled black people were being hired over skilled white people. And you said, well, in trucking, they're hiring immigrants over Americans. Okay, that's not the goddamn question I asked, was it, Jimmy? Was that the question I asked?
Not at all.
Oh,
so I'll unmute you now. Let's see if you can answer the actual question.
Trucking is an industry.
So no, you can't.
Are we for real? Are we for real?
Black.
Are we goddamn for real right now? Are we goddamn for real? What standards?
What color are immigrants?
Let's play your ridiculously stupid game. What standards have been lowered in the trucking industry? Name them.
Did I say standards were lowered? No. Did you? You're not listening.
Hey Jimmy.
The thing I said about the food in the car.
What was the goddamn question I asked him?
Cletus, can you now repeat the question you've heard for a fourth time? What the question was from Jovan?
Can you guys quit playing this semantic game and actually have a conversation?
Cletus,
or do you have
Cletus. It's not a semantic game. If I ask you what favorite food you is your favorite food, and you say, I saw a red car, it was probably a Ford at 2 p.m. today. All we want is you to answer what your fucking favorite food is. He's asked you a direct question. We've now said 4 times. It's not a semantic issue. It's not the question you're answering could be answered my way also. The way you're answering is explicitly not an answer to the question. He asked, in what industry were standards lowered so less qualified black people could take the jobs of white people? Oh, is he still muted? My bad.
I remuted him, yeah, because I was gonna lose my shit.
Here you go, Cletus. Now for the 500th time.
You got me. You got me so good. I didn't jump through all your hoops.
So you admit that you don't have a single example of affirmative action.
I'm just a dumb redneck hillbilly. What about all the crime against white people that black people commit?
Cletus, so are you, before we jump there, are you admitting that you are unaware of a single example of affirmative action?
Sure,
are you willing to admit you don't? No, not sure like you actually do.
Sure.
Cletus, can you name a single example of an industry that has suffered because of affirmative action?
All right, the most.
I don't want the suffering. I want the standards lowering. I want the standards being lowered. Air traffic in the last 10 years. Air traffic in the last 10 years. Air traffic, air pilots. The standards have increased. They require more hours of flight.
No, they
You're
have.
a motherfucking idiot. Yes, they have.
Or can I actually make a point about that?
No, I'm sorry. You're wrong. The standards to become a pilot have increased.
Yeah, let me answer then. Let's go into detail.
Oh my God.
When you say air traffic, controllers or pilots? So much. Cletus, when you say air traffic, do you mean controllers or pilots?
Yes. No, air traffic controllers.
Go ahead. Make your case.
I seriously never know when I'm on mute with you guys.
It's the beeping sound.
So here's how they corrupted air traffic controlling. Did they lower standards? You're presuming the conclusion already. No, they corrupted the entire testing system by cheating. That's how. So through, again, like everything's so black and white with you guys.
So to be clear, Cletus, not a policy. The conniving black people cheated is your assertion.
I never said conniving, but generally, yes, that was the case.
Great. So you are admitting that it is not a policy, just you believe this exists, that they're cheating. You believe black people are cheating to get in there, but standards haven't been lowered. Policies have not been changed. And affirmative action is not what you are describing, because that's what we were talking about. not some criminal conspiracy you believe exists to get black people. No. Hang on, Cletus. You're going to confirm what we're saying before we move on. You're not actually talking about affirmative action. You're not actually talking about a policy. You're not talking about a leftist policy. You're not talking about quotas. And you're definitely not talking about, as Jovan said, lowering standards. You now are on a criminal. You are now giving a criminal conspiracy that black people are collectively working together to cheat to become air traffic controllers.
Well, it's not a conspiracy when there's examples.
Give an example.
When they're caught
My
doing
goodness,
it,
are you joking though? It's not a conspiracy if there are examples. What do you think all conspiracies are built on? It's called confirmation bias. You use the examples which confirm that which you believe, and you disregard, no matter how big the mountain of evidence is, of anything that challenges it. MAGA, for real. I know some of you aren't racist, or at least you're not this racist. Do you want this? Cletus is clearly a white supremacist trying to do it the Charlie Kirk way, or somewhere between Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes, like one of those soft kiss you on the mouth as long as you're not black white supremacists. Okay. Surely there are some of you who are not this guy who is using a pseudonym, because I think
has there ever been an example of black supremacy?
Has there ever been an example of black supremacy? So you're totally giving up on affirmative action, correct?
Well, you're making all of these like horrible racist accusations. I believe in equality.
You are racist,
I don't
Cletus.
believe in
Cletus,
all of
you're
this.
very obvious. Cletus, you are very obvious.
You don't believe in goddamn equality. Wait, hold on. Let me test something. Let's prove you believe in equality. Do you agree that the amount of scholarships given out in America, that the bulk of need-based and financial-based scholarships at a rate that is not commensurate with the population goes to white Americans over their black counterparts?
That last part, that does not, what was that last part when you were saying that does not represent?
Do you agree that scholarships, both need-based and merit-based, are disproportionately given to white Americans over their black counterparts?
I mean, I don't know, but sure. I mean, if you say they do, I believe you.
Great. So knowing that disproportionately white students receive the bulk of need-based and financial-based scholarships, how should we correct this issue so that the rates can become more proportionate to population?
Why? I don't think the fact that we measure this skin color, to me, is the problem. I don't think
I'm sorry.
That should be part of it.
I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't hear what I said. Maybe you just didn't hear me, so I'll repeat it.
How do you fix it? How do you fix that? Affirmative action? Is that where you're going? I get it.
I didn't say affirmative. I asked you how you fix it. I know you think you can predict the conversation. I know you think you can predict it. I'm saying if the bulk of scholarships disproportionately, which means it's not in line with population numbers, disproportionately go to white Americans, how do we make it fair for the people who are not white?
Okay, let me answer. I think you got to deal with the inner city problems with schools and crime.
There are students who are black, who are graduating from high school with perfectly fine GPAs, with stellar academics, who cannot get scholarships because the bulk of need and financial base go to white people disproportionately.
What type of
So how do we help these people?
Talking about like government?
How many times? Both need-based and financial. It's a pool of all types of scholarships, both state scholarships, federal scholarships, and private scholarships. So my question again is, how do we correct this issue for the children?
Private. Why would you try to fix private scholarships?
So are you incapable?
On their own free will.
Are questions just impossible for you? Is it that you hear a question in your brain hears it in a different way than what has come out of my mouth?
Private donation of money? How do you fix private donation of money?
Again, when I say a question, does it just like does your brain reword what I say? Is it that you're incapable, or are you like being this dumb on purpose?
Wrong. Your premise is your question. The premise of your question is wrong. That's why.
The premise is not wrong. Both need-based and financial-based scholars primarily go to white applicants, disproportionate to population sizes. So my question is, how do we fix this? So how do we fix it?
It doesn't need fixing.
So you believe it's okay
you can't fix
that
private
white
donation
people
of money, dude.
You didn't. So you think it's okay that you're sitting here saying that you like equality, but it's okay to you that there's an unequal semblance here. It's unequal here, but you like equality. This isn't equality. It's not equality that white people disproportionately get the bulk of need-based and merit-based aid.
I agree.
So
I agree
since
with
this
what
is
you're
not
saying,
equal,
but the idea that you can fix
since this is not equal, how can we fix a system that is not equal? We can't.
I agree.
You said we can't. Great. So you agree that there is systemic racism in this country. So you agree there's systemic racism in this country. There is a system that is not equal, and you agree it's not equal, but you think there's no way to fix that systemic racism problem in this country. We have it.
That's not,
no way to fix it. We have it, and just Cletus over here. I can't think of a way to fix it. Could we maybe come up with some scholarships that are meant for Black applicants specifically to fill the gap? Does that sound like a solution? Or is that just too hard to do?
What scholarships?
Is that just too hard? Could we come up with some scholarships meant for Black students specifically to fill the gap, Cletus?
No,
to fill the gap that has been left behind?
No, because here's the problem.
Oh, no, can't. No, we can't do that. So we know that it's unequal, but we can't fill the gap to make it more equal. Oh, interesting.
No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong.
Oh,
you're representing the conversation completely false.
I'm representing the conversation false, am I?
Yes, because again, so you're conflating government, all scholarships, right? Government, private. That's your problem. The fact that that's how you're doing this and coming at this question is disingenuous.
So it's impossible for us to say, hey guys, it looks like when we look at both private sector and public sector scholarships, white people disproportionately receive this amount. Why don't we just create some public sector scholarships to fill the gap? You think no, we shouldn't do that.
The private, let me outline your solution. Let me outline your solution.
I'm not solutioning that we should change the private sector at all. I'm solutioning we expand the public sector to fill the gap.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So your solution is you go, hey, private free will donation of money is a problem. That's a problem to you, right?
The problem is that the bulk of the scholarships disproportionately go to white students.
Right. The private, so people with money who freely give it up, that's a problem to you because it disproportionately benefits white over others, right? Okay, fine. So your solution to balance that out is to take non-private money to compete with private money, right?
It's to balance it out with expanding on public-based scholarships.
Yeah, that's wrong because you're trying to use government to compete with just public free donations, and that's a disingenuous way to come at this. You could do that with so many things to justify.
We shouldn't expand the public sector.
Public on public.
We should not expand the public sector in ways that will fix the shortcomings of the private sector. Is what you're telling me. Instead, the shortcomings of the private sector, people should just stop. So people should just suffer in the public sector if the private sector does not fill the gap.
So wait, suffer? You think all these like free money
I think
is
that
suffering?
People who don't,
it's not suffering.
I think that people who don't receive a scholarship when they are meeting all the academic criteria, because those I'm gonna mute you because I don't need to hear your fucking nonsense. Jesus Christ. It's like suck the air out of the room. I don't care about your fucking jabs. Look at every single metric, every single one. Systemic racism is blatantly real. blatantly true and disproportionately affects Black people. Do you have any solutions to this? How do we fix the education system? How do we fix the school to prison pipeline? How do we fix the fact that Black men are criminalized at 14 times a higher rate? How do we fix the fact that Black people are pulled over 16 times higher? You know what? Let's take that one. Black people are pulled over 16 times higher than white people until the sun goes down, in which case the rates of pullovers even out.
Why do you think
cops can no longer see because cops can no longer see the color of the driver because the sun is no longer out, so they have a harder time seeing who's driving the car. That's why the numbers even out when the sun goes down. If you had let me finish, Cletus, you might have not sounded like an idiot just now. So why do the numbers why do the numbers even out?
And moving on to some
why do the numbers? Because you've already admitted, because you have already admitted, because you've already admitted that the public sector should just suffer and that there's no fixing it. So you've already admitted that you're a terrible person in that regard. So I'm going to see if you're a terrible person in these other regards. So why?
Nope.
Are Black people pulled over? It is. You could try to play that. You could try to play the game. It's all been recorded. Everybody heard every word that came out of your mouth. Like you going, there's no fixing it. It's there, and there's no fixing it. We all heard it. So shut the fuck up with that. It's stupid to try to fucking defend your claim now at this point.
Here, I'll finish my point in 2 seconds, then we can talk about the traffic.
How do we fix the disparity?
Yeah, the disparity. You make the public compete against the public. And that's the fix. You don't try to make the government.
So should we expand the amount of public college scholarships?
Not to compete against the private. No.
Okay, dummy, like literally two-step stupid fucking person. When you say you have the public compete against the public, that means nothing. If the problem is that there's a disproportionality in scholarship handouts and all your claim is like, we'll have the public compete against the public. What does that fucking mean? It doesn't mean anything. You're putting words together to try to make a semblance of something that means nothing. So what? Fine, oh my God. Just tell me what it means. Just tell me what you mean. What does it mean by make the public compete with the public? What does that mean?
Well, your whole premise was not that. So that's why that's
what
kind of
does it mean, Cletus? What does it mean? Jesus fucking Christ. What does it mean? Make the public compete with the public. What's that mean?
Don't compare. Yes, let's go into that. Don't compare your combination pool of public and private scholarships with
even when we just look at public scholarships disparity. So now what do we do?
No, that's wrong. Not if they.
No, it's yes, it is. Yes, it is. Stupid. Yes, it is. I don't give a fuck, Cletus. I don't give a fuck what you think. I could care less what you think. I'm telling you that when we look at scholarships, even on just the public level, they are still disproportionate. So please, on God, if ever a time in the rest of this debate you start a sentence with "I think," stop yourself and go, "Wait, I'm stupid. I shouldn't be thinking. I should have direct data." That Jovan is giving me direct data that comes from literally the Department of Education. It comes from I'll pull up the direct numbers right now. So every time for the rest of this conversation where you think I want to start with "I think," just don't, because what's going to happen is you're going to say something really stupid. Okay? So answer me the question: public. So state and federal applications still disproportionately go to white students. How do we fix it?
Assuming, which I assume you're wrong, but assuming you're right? Like if all things created equal, merit-based, systems, they should, at high enough levels, because if you're not looking at, again, not knowing anything about your data, but if you're looking at small populations versus large populations, that you're going to get differences, and of course you'll make your argument potentially on that. But assuming you're right, assuming everything you're saying, test scores are equal, here's the problem. I'm kind of against looking at skin color as an acceptance form. So when I think of what's a solution.
See ya. Jimmy, I'm done.
No.
I'm done.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry.
I had one more question I can only take so much. He said something way back, and I just thought of it. He said public should only compete against public, and private should only compete against private. So I was going to ask him to name a public service. I was going to ask him to name a public service that competes against a private service. And then I was going to ask him, so like Medicare, for example, competes against private medical insurance. Now please name the public service that is another public service that Medicare could compete against. What he said is literally impossible.
I refuse to have us up here admitting that it's disproportionate, admitting that it's not equal, and then go, well, but I don't think we should look at skin color. Get the fuck out of here. Shut the fuck up.
I don't want to do anything about it, but